played one series so far. This is his second one, and he's still going to have to make up at least 2 series. As this weekend he was not able to play against the Muslim, and he also has a postponed game against Night End. But hey, if Sen wins this one, Ben, he's off to an excellent start of Season 4, where he starts off 2-0 in best of 3s. Of course, Sen took 3rd place in 2 seasons in a row in the NASL. Unfortunately, last season, Sen did not make it to the finals of the NASL Season 3. He did go very far. He made it to the round of 16, but then lost against either Alicia or Puzzle, one of the two. Maybe you can refresh my memory, Ben.
You know that's not going to happen, Kev.
If I don't know, you don't know.
It's generally my philosophy.
Okay.
But I am really eager to see more out of Sen's play here. I love this super committed focus to Mutilating Bane. I'm going to take a sip of water and then I'm going to talk about it.
Go for it, Ben. QXC, this game is not going to go with the command center first. Well, of course, Kevin Riley is our purple Terran in the left bottom side of Cloud Kingdom, and Sen is, of course, our Taiwanese Zerg in the right top side.
All right, so here's what's really cool about what Sen did.
How cool.
Everybody can remember a time when Mutilating Bane was the standard in Zerg versus Terran, and the real problem that Zerg players ran into was eventually Terran just kind of outscales it. The upgrades get too good, they become too cost effective, and they just sort of crush. Sen was basically ahead in upgrades almost the entire game. And that was one of the reasons that he was able to continue trading with Terran. The other thing that he did so well was every time he engaged, he made sure to reset the tank count. And that allowed his banelings to be so much more effective. So excellent play out of Sen in game number 1. I want to see some more of that. It's one of the reasons that people enjoy watching Dongregu play still, because he's another player that's not afraid to make mutas in a metagame that is pretty devoid of mutas these days.
He's not afraid to take a stand.
He's not afraid to do anything, man. Dongregu and QXC are like, they're the alpha males of the Starcraft 2 scene.
This is a very straightforward question, Ben, but what I still wonder about is often when Protoss players go Nexus first against Terran, the moment that Terran sees that, they will try to block it. So they delay that a little bit, and Protoss is still first to get their gateway first, and everything is going to be delayed quite a bit. When Terran knows that Zerg is almost always going heads first, why do you think they never try to block it with anything?
I don't know, Kev. I think it's...
You're going to have to get your Rex a little bit quicker if you want to block a 15 hedge, I guess. But it's theoretically possible. And
or you could even block it with an eBay if you want to do it before your barracks is done. Yeah. So it's something that we sometimes see. I personally am very annoyed when I get my hatchery eBay blocked. It's just kind of, I think it's just a matter of Terrans really wanting their build to be undisturbed. And I've asked this of players like QXC in the past, hey, why don't you eBay block more? And a lot of guys just believe like it's not really worth it to throw off your build.
But Zerg's, it's weird because I know that Zergs hate it so much if they don't go hedge first. Like I know a lot of Zerg players who, if they play, for instance, against random and the guy ends up as Terran and they don't go hedge first, they already feel behind.
You know, I think it's a very viable and a very good question. It throws me off a lot, and I think it's something that players should explore more.
Because you can pretty much bank on the fact that 99 out of 100 times these guys will go hedge first.
And there's nothing worse, especially when you're like, we're seeing Zerg players get more and more greedy, not only going 15 hatch, but something going 16 hatch, 17 hatch, and then you get down there with your 16, 17 drone, and it's like, oh damn it. So
it's gonna go now.
Inevitably end up starting your spawning pool at like 500 minerals, and you're just like, you're super mad.
I hate this game.
This guy sucks. So you usually start typing profanities at the other guy.
No, we would never do that, man.
Never. Not while on our main accounts, maybe on a Smurf.
I do not Smurf. You know, my favorite thing in the world is when people Smurf who are actually like just completely unknown. It's like, I'm hiding my identity. It's like, but I didn't know who you were before this. He's like, yeah, but I'm still Smurfing, so I won't tell you who I am. And then eventually they tell me who they are, and it's like, sorry man, I've never heard of you. And then I ask someone else, and then no one has ever heard. It's like, so what's really the point in Smurfing when you're not actually...
Everybody wants to have a barcode account, man.
I played against the other day. I played against a guy who called himself Barcode, but he just wrote it like B-A-R-C-O.
I've seen that. That's getting kind of popular. It's almost as popular as the latter accounts Anaprocessor and Quantic Flow.
Yeah, those were quite popular as well. Or maybe they're just really damn good at Starcraft, man.
I think the only realistic conclusion is that Anaprocessor has multiple GM accounts.
Yeah,
I mean, that makes sense to me.
Zergling is going to take some damage while the first Hellions cruise across the map. I can only imagine that Sen is going to be more careful this time. QXC is opening up sort of similar to how he did in the previous game, Ben. He's just going to sacrifice his first Hellion completely. He's not going to kill a single drone. This time, however, Ben, he's going to follow it up with Cloak Banshee, so it's much more of a real commitment. But potentially he will be able to deal even more damage than he did in the previous game, even though it's going to be hard to kill 31 drones again, certainly on Cloud Kingdom.
What really amazes me the most, Kevin, is that Sin loses 31 drones and he just wins anyway. But I think a lot of the reason for that is what you described, that QXC didn't take the most advantage of the economic damage that he wrought.
He still tried to drop relatively quickly, but I felt more that QXC was thinking in a way of like, okay, this is really nice. I bought myself time to go up to 3 bases and I'm even going to drop my 4th. That's how much time I have. And of course he was spot on with that, because he did have a very strong economy after all. But at the end of the day, he was still going to play against, oh my god, all the drones are still stacked up. Fortunately for Sen, this is only one low HP Hellion, which is a Corporal with 5 kills.
Was a Corporal.
Still Corporal. Was a Corporal. More Hellions cruising in, man. Cloak is almost ready. There's not a single Spore Crawler yet. It is in production though.
As more Hellions get over here into this third expansion and get some nice shots off. 3 more drones going down. Banshee shows up, but Spore Crawler's done, man, so she's going to have a hard time finding openings. Spores going down in the main and finished in the natural as well, so a much better job this time by Sin of dealing with this initial QXC harass. Yeah,
Sin is still up 10 workers as well, man. People wondering what are the upcoming games. We've got a PvP after this series between MTW, Root TT1 of course, and Finale, and last but not least we got a rematch of IEM Global Challenge TF between Dimaga and MMA.
Should be a ton of fun. More Hellion harass here in the natural. This is becoming really characteristic of QXC's playstyle. As uses some nice position to roast a lot of lings, but still losing those Hellions.
The harass was definitely not as good as it was on Entombed, but as Sen's economy is still looking also healthy. He's on 63 drones, 10 more are in production. He's going to be up to 73 drones. Yes, he did end up losing 11, but against all those Hellions that he took out, against even the fact that QXC researched Cloak, I am not sure.
Yeah, I don't think that QXC's in even remotely as good of a position as he had on Entombed Valley. Spire's already going down for Sin, who doesn't really have to make any more drones, Kevin. He can just start cranking out workers. Does he have the Baneling Nest? I think he skipped it this time.
There's no Baneling Nest yet, as far as I know. He's working on Darima. It was pretty late in the previous game as well, though, so I still think we could very well see that eventually, or in the near future.
Yeah, it was late-ish, but it was down by this point in the last game. I wonder what he did, what reason allowed him to skip it. Maybe I don't really have a good hypothesis here.
So many reactors are going down left and right, man. Scan will go down here by QXC. He's going to pick up a couple of Crypt Tumors. 2-2 is on the way for Sen. Sen doesn't really have any units as he's saving up quite a bit of money and has a little bit of gas saved up already to get those Mutalisk out. Mutalisk, of course, will make short work of all these Banshees.
And all the Hellions. Hellions can get away from Mutas, but they certainly can't shoot up, so...
that would be something. All the Mutas are lined up. The Hellions suddenly decide to aim the gun there.
What if a Phoenix could lift a Hellion, and then the Hellion could shoot a Muta?
The Phoenix can definitely lift the Hellion.
That would be smart. The Lings are going to try and surround these Hellions. Sin comes barreling down that ramp at rapid speed, but pretty good control from QXC. Will allow him to kill every one of those Zerglings and get out of there with a couple more Hellions.
Kills a lot of Ling, but at the end of the day, that's just minerals, Ben. And if anything that Sen ain't hurting for, it's minerals. As he's mining 2,200 minerals a minute, still on 82 drones. Fantastic economy. First factories start rolling out for QXC as well. He went so heavy on the reactors, by the way. He's going to be able to produce an insane amount of Marines.
Yeah, his macro is going to be kicking it into high gear very soon, as his 3-base economy is looking quite healthy. 62 SCVs to 82 drones and triple orbital dropping down them mules. So
Sen is really mad. Look at this drone. Bam, bam, left, right. Give your best 50s comment. I want to hear the boxing commentary.
Yeah, I keep forgetting to do that. When we come back from our next break, it'll be the 50s radio voice.
I know you can do it. You're not great with accents, but that one, you got it, Ben.
I think that's one of my better impressions that I do. Yeah. I'm pretty bad at impressions. That's the only one that's even remotely passable.
When I have a few drinks, I always think I'm really good at accents, but everybody tells me that I'm terrible, and I believe them. I know I'm not good.
I used to think I was good at accents, and then my sister told me, Ben, all your accents sound the same.
Yeah. Like what I always have is that I try to sound Australian, and it's like, how did everything suddenly start becoming Russian? Like, why is every accent I try right now Russian?
Good day, mate. There's a Zergling in my face.
Hiya, mate. Top of the morning. Hello. Like, makes no sense. Bailing Nest is on the way right now, Ben. We have quite a few mutas. Of course, QXC is able to produce so many Marines at once because of all these reactors that I don't think that these mutalists should be very, very scary right now. But we have the Rosen brothers still in the studio.
That's right. Adam and Tyler Rosen of the Texas Esports Association are in the building. We'll be talking to them later on tonight.
Wearing cowboy boots as always.
Cowboy boots, cowboy hats. They rode in on a couple of stallions this morning.
I saw a donkey standing on the parking lot. I was like, who is this donkey? And I see Tyler. I was like, hey, Tyler. It's pretty cool.
First baneling's being morphed right now for Sin. And he has just done a fantastic job, Kevin, not only of establishing his macro, but of keeping up in the upgrades. He's got 2-2 on these Lings and Banelings, and a couple of that with 24 mutas, 89 Zerglings, 10
I still
Banelings.
feel that he's going to need an insane amount of Banelings though, because QXC is going to have so many Marines, I feel. Yes, there are quite a few Banelings right now. QXC is quite far out of position. He's going to end up losing quite a few SCVs.
But there's no Baneling speed, which could be a big problem. QXC.
Not splitting yet, but
Not
he didn't really
splitting
need
at all.
to.
It didn't matter that much. A lot of workers go down there in that expansion, but...
wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle. Banelings walk like a kitty. Of course, Ben has a kid. That's Kitty. Her name is Kitty. As he walks like a Baneling.
Don't make fun of Kitty, man.
I wouldn't dare.
You can make fun of me, but don't you dare make fun of Kitty.
3 mid turrets going up for QXC. Who knows how many Mutalisks there are on the map once more. He's kind of blind though, Ben. He's going to scout with this one single Marine. He's going to find the entire army over here from Sen. Do you think Sen just completely forgot about Baneling speed, or Sen, what's the purpose?
have no idea. I mean, you would think at this point he would have realized that he doesn't have it, as his Banelings have been fighting in a couple of pretty important engagements, but he still hasn't bothered to get it started.
Scan goes down. QXC probably is aware of the fact that these ain't speedlings. Speedmates.
Definitely.
27 more Banelings being morphed in right now, but I'm not sure where that is actually. It's all the way over here on the fort base of Sen.
Sin just likes to waddle, man.
He's still not researching it.
If Sin was an Arctic animal, he would be a penguin.
I think Sen would be a badass penguin.
He would be an awesome penguin. Can you like see him sliding down like glaciers and stuff on his belly?
Wee. Sorry?
No, we're talking about Sin.
Talking about
I mean, Sin's built kind of like a penguin.
Kitty on the Arctic would be pretty cool too, man.
Oh, she'd be so cool.
More mutas just taking out Marines and Marauders in the right bottom side of the map. QXC is making a serious push now though, and he's activating Stim as well. He has an insane amount of Marines, 73. But there are so many Banelings, but Sen, okay, Sen finally did start Baneling speed. It's not ready yet though.
He's going to be counterattacking down here at this third expansion. Is going to kill this bunker. Yeah, he's going to have no trouble killing everything here. The question becomes now, how much is he going to lose back at home? He's given up this fourth base and has a lot of Banelings at the third, but Baneling speed still is only halfway done.
I think he's just going to try to wait for that as long as possible. And there's so many Banelings, man. These mutas are going to be able to deal a lot of damage as well. I think that QXC should have enough here at least to keep his infrastructure intact, which is of course incredibly important.
Absolutely. Baneling speed getting closer and closer, Kevin. 91 of 110 on the build time. Should be done around the time that these mutas show up. And we are going to see a huge flank here. Sin coming in from, well, it was coming in from both sides. Then he stopped, and now he's at it again, and he don't need no stinking Baneling speed.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Stop and wiggle with it. Yeah, QXC says GG. Sin walks away with victory.
Second victory of the season for Sen, who still holds an undefeated record in the NASL Season 4, despite only playing 2 series so far. He is 2-0 in his division, man, so Sen strong as always. And QXC, the story just kind of continues. He plays some really good Starcraft in our league. Certainly Game 1, I think he was excellent. It's just often not enough against these really strong opponents.
QXC played a fantastic set of games there, but Sin was just a little bit better. That last game brought to you guys by Stamps.com. Hassle-free postage from your PC. You can pick up your own special discounted stamps if you visit nasl.tv/p/stamps. Go check them out today and stick around because we've got more StarCraft coming up after this short break.